Welcome to the Palomares channel and to our interview series about what the oceans mean to us and how to protect them more effectively. Today our guest is Dr. Den Palomares from the Finn group, Fish-Based Information Group, and also working at the Fisheries Centre at the University of British Columbia. Let me start with asking you to explain to our viewers, please, what your current position is and why you care so much about the oceans.
I'm the Sea Life Based Project Coordinator based at the Fisheries Centre, the Sea Realms Project of the Fisheries Centre at the University of British Columbia. And when I was a kid, I used to go in Manila Bay, swimming in Manila Bay. That's where I learned to swim. But now nobody can swim in Manila Bay anymore. It's all brown and murky. But when I was a kid, I grew up having clear waters in Manila Bay. And I think that's one of the first things that make me really care about the ocean.
Now you are a well-established scientist, and for you, in the light of the science and the research you do, what are the three most important threats to the oceans, to marine life and marine ecosystems?
But there's evidently overfishing is a threat, but there are things that we don't really actually know, we don't see as a threat. Like every day we wash our clothes, and where does the washing, the wash from the clothes come out to? It goes out to the sea. And these detergents, anything that has chemical stuff, right, pollute the oceans, and that's a real threat that we probably do not see as much as overfishing. But there's also, well, the other threat is really how people use the sea, or the coastal ecosystems, and they change it in a way that they do not really understand what the implications of.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things. Yeah.
So this is, what do you think are the reasons why we don't understand why we have these behaviors in relation to the seas, which are apparently so inappropriate?
Because humans have evolved into living in cities, and in cities they do not really see the sea anymore. They just know, say, fish coming from the supermarkets. Ask any kid around. They will say, okay, where do you think the fish comes from? They'd say, oh, my mother got it from the supermarket, right? So there's this association with the natural environment, and that people do not understand anymore how things they do in everyday life actually have an effect in the sea.
Yeah, so I guess we all know examples of that when we think about it. Yeah. And then what do you suggest to do to protect the sea more effectively?
I think education is will have a very huge impact on like everybody from kids to the CEOs of big companies and politicians, of course. So we have to educate people, we have to let them know that everything that we do, every single thing, when we wash our clothes, when we flush the toilet, right? When we give food to the fishes in the pond, we change everything that we touch. And we have to listen to that. We have to think about how that is implicating the natural environment. So, or changing the natural environment. I think education, awareness, we have to push that.
Yes. As the leader of the Sea Life Base project, you have been investing and sharing a lot of that best science available to a much larger public, not only to fellow scientists, but to the public at large. And you have been interacting with many diverse audiences. When you do that, when you engage in this global web archive and you see the reactions of the users, where do you see the most disappointing reactions to the science you present, and where is the most enthusiastic feedback? What type of public responds best?
Enthusiastic feedback comes from basically young people who are surprised that this thing came from there, and the smallest sort of information that they get from the websites, that really boggles their minds, right? But I think the hardest crowd are politicians. Unfortunately, they are the ones who make the law, and they are the ones who, but implementing the laws, sometimes I think there's a reticence there. It's also, I think it's because politicians are involved with business establishments, business contracts and all this, and that basically does not link. So yeah, I think there should be a way of getting the information that we have in the scientific community to the politicians via an intermediary group of people who do not have any vested interest in the business.
So that is your advice for us for the future?
Yes.
Thank you very much for sharing
Thank
your
you.
view with us. Thank you.